Did you know that I grew up in China?
Yeah.
You know that there's a picture of me in a rickshaw. See it?
Right there.
Yeah.
And also this is picture
Oh, yeah.
of the rickshaw in Shanghai.
Yeah, in Shanghai.
From Shanghai.
This rickshaw guy used to take me to school. So, and that's me with my mom and dad. Is my mom pretty?
Yeah.
She's a pretty girl. And my father was an amazingly fantastic creative guy.
What did he do?
My father, in Shanghai, my father owned 5 or 6 retail stores with a friend of his, and he had maybe behind every store in the back, he had probably 15 tailors, 20 tailors times 6, 7 stores, 120 tailors, because it's not like you call out venues and say, let me have 5 dozen shirts in large and small. In China, you couldn't get that. So he had everything had to be made. The shirts, the sweaters, the jackets, everything had to be made. And so he had probably like 100 tailors, and he had a couple partners, and they made clothes for, there were about 10,000 Europeans in Shanghai who didn't have any place to buy European clothes. And then my mother, this is when I was 3 years old, my mother walked near the house where we lived, and there was a Chinese artist who had an easel and had a little can. People would put some coins in it, and he would sell them, you know, he would give them a drawing and people would put some coins in. She asked him if he can come and maybe teach a little boy some drawings. He likes to draw. He says, no, he can't, but if you like, I'll send my daughter over. So I'm 3 years old, and as the story goes, I don't remember it probably, but I remember her. The girl comes over the house, and I found out when I was 3, she was only 7. So she came with a stack of paper, skillful probably as can be, because her father was an artist, and she drew with me, and she told me just to draw nonsense, anything.
Whoa.
Just not to draw faces and try hard, but just to scribble whatever it feels like. And I did that for, you know, and then I got better and better at scribbling, and by the time I was 10, I left Shanghai, and I remember when the boat pulled away, I stood there crying, tears and tears, missing a little, her name was Umba. And I cried for hours. The first time I saw something that I couldn't believe I saw, and I mentioned it a little bit before, but you'll see, I'm walking with my little 3.5, 4-year-old boy, and we're walking on Broadway, and I must have been passing a newsstand. You know, the newsstand, there's always a big window and there's a guy inside, and the little boy, my son Adam, says, Daddy, 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 Daddy. I go, yes, Adam. He says, that's you. Where? He's pointing to the newsstand. And I don't see just a whole bunch of magazines, and suddenly, I couldn't believe it. There's a guy sitting inside, and over his head are 4 Life magazines with my face on it. You know what that meant back then? It was like unbelievable. So I went and bought all 4. And then the guy in the newsstand says to me, would you do me a favor? Goes and picks another one up. Would you sign it? I had so much wanted to buy it, but I figured I can go to another newsstand. And I probably have this many at home now. But so it was unbelievable. And then out of that came Johnny Carson. And then all these media things happened. This is like when, you know, I came into the world where when I was in my mid-20s, media exploded. Today, I can't even find Larry King. I don't know where it is. I don't know where the Today Show is. Everything is somewhere 235, 189, right? They're like so many channels and so many magazines. So I'm really grateful for that.